There has been a lack of transparency in the city of Houston regarding this issue, and the bad policing needs to be addressed instead of ignored. After committing involved was not fired. I'm referring to the officer Shane Privet, who had previously been indicted for police brutality before he killed my son. I believe that the hiring and retention policies of Houston Police Department, HPD, need to be improved to prevent such incidents from happening again. I'm also concerned about the lack of communication with our family regarding police brutality in the city of Houston. I feel that it's important families affected by these issues. I want to know why the process takes so long when a white officer is involved in processes versus when a black officer is involved, they move very swiftly. Why does it take 30 days to release a video footage when it only takes a couple of days if the Houston Police Department is in the right? I believe that the investigation process needs to be fair and timely for all cases, and that it should not take a year to investigate a 3-second video when it comes to police misconduct. As a little girl, I was always taught to take accountability for my mistakes and understand that every action has its consequences. It's a lesson. I don't receive support from others, meaning yourself. We will not go weary in the fight for justice. We need to do.
Ms. Rachel, thank you for being here, and my sincere condolences to you. We do have a couple of council members that would like to address you. Councilmember Pollard.
To you and your entire family as well. You're right. You need to be getting answers much swifter than you have been receiving them thus far. And I know that has been reported that this case is under investigation. But you probably need more advocates, and even around this table, knocking on the door, making the phone call to get you the answers that you and your family deserve. So, although I know this incident happened in District B, my office will stand with you and start making more inquiries on your son's case, try to get you some answers. I can only imagine what you're going through, what your family is going through by not getting the answers you would like to receive. So I'll do my part to work with your council member, as well as working with the family to get the information I need to make those calls and make those inquiries, and we'll see what we can do to get you a response and to make sure that that investigation isn't taking longer than it needs to. Thank you.
Comments in your bravery, so I want to acknowledge that. I have no idea the weight that you're carrying, but I want to extend to you my support as well, and we'll work definitely close with your colleague. Sometimes people have, and so we are here, so I want to thank you for sounding the alarm and bringing people with you and making us aware. But I do have a specific question. You alluded to it in your comments. When was the last time you were communicating with from the police department about the case or the status of the case?
I heard from the police department. Only time we dealt with the police department when Chief Fenner came to a town hall meeting. We spoke, and basically, again, it was sort of addressing the situation. And I just, matter of fact, I just went to the victim crime rally on maybe 2 weeks ago, and he basically ignored me, even after speaking with him as I done something to the police department. And I feel that that's unacceptable, because I don't disrespect none of y'all. I don't disrespect anyone, because I wasn't raised that way. So with that said, he ignored me even after I spoke to him, as if I done something to him. And I'm a mother of a black child, and that was taken from me. And it wasn't only taken from me, it was taken from his father, it was taken from his stepfather, his daughter, and I'm just serious because we have not had any help from anybody on politicians, anything. We were told that politicians can't move heaven. And that is unacceptable too.
So I think with, you know, some of it's a legality to it, some of it's a procedure, but nevertheless, you should be informed on what the process is, so you at least have the language and understand the timeline and the level set. So Councilmember Jackson, I really wanna work with you to make sure she has a point person that can consistently provide updates, either from the DA's office, from HPD, the union, however that is, so she understands, because there's multiple dynamics. It's not always as simple as how we would see it on, you know, TV or the news, but you need that information, and sometimes that's not shared. So I wanna make sure that we get that to her, and I just wanna acknowledge you for your presence today.
Can I, black civilians making errors or making mistakes or making bad choices is immediately dealt with. Why can't we all be transparent?
So I can't answer that explicitly, we need more time, but I will tell you in 2020, several of us authored multiple recommendations to address even recruiting, HR practices, all of that, 3 years ago. That wasn't a fix-all. It wasn't to cure everything, but it was the step in the right direction, and it has corrected some other things. We definitely have more work to do. Your comments tell us today, we still have more work to do. So we're not done, and that's why I appreciate you coming here to share that, so we can continue to keep our eyes on the things that are important, especially to the victims' families. But I wanna make sure a priority that we get you linked in with some communication, because it sounds like there's some information that you don't have that you need. Thank you, Vice Mayor.
We need a
And we're at 12 grandsons, and I can only imagine the pain that you must have experienced. I'm very sorry for your loss. I want you to know that. And sometimes, as you mentioned, elected officials, we have certain authorities. We're a legislative body, we're not an executive body. But all of us, thank you for being here.
Thank you, Ms. Rachel, and, the council members will work with your council member to try to get you some of those answers.
Thank you.
Next speaker.